Hello again, it's me, Auntie P, and welcome to day 2 of Manchester's Alternative Pride story time. Here we are, we're telling stories. It's really rather exciting. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Have you brought a cuddly toy? I always think it's best if you have a cuddly toy friend to join you when you're listening to story time. Go on, fetch it, hurry up. I'll wait here, nothing else to do. Are you ready? Then I shall begin. Today's first story is about 2 daddies. Well, to be frank, Daddy, Papa and me. Very exciting. And it's written by Leslie Newman. Here we go. Are you ready? I'll begin. Daddy, Papa and me. Who wants to play with me today? I do, Daddy and Papa say. Oh, there they are. Daddy wears a shiny crown. Oh, that's fabulous, isn't it? Papa dresses like a clown. Daddy's plane goes zoom, zoom, zoom. Papa's car goes vroom, vroom, vroom. Daddy helps me paint the sky. Papa helps me bake a pie. Getting quite peckish myself. Looks fabulous, doesn't it? Daddy and I both strum, strum, strum. Papa and I both drum, drum, drum. Daddy shows me how to sew. It's a very useful skill. Papa shows me how to throw. Oh! Daddy brews a pot of tea. Papa pours for Bear and me. Does anybody need a rest? Daddy and Papa say. Yes, yes, yes. They look positively worn out. I'm not surprised after doing all that. What a workout. What a fabulous story though. Now, are you ready for story number 2? Yes? Where did I put it? There we go. Now, this is a really rather exciting story. It's called And Tango Makes Three. And they're my favourite type of birds. Can you see the picture? It's penguins. And it's by Justin Richardson. Now, are you ready? Yes? Then I'll begin. And Tango Makes Three. In the middle of New York, there's a great big park called Central Park. Children love to play there. It has a toy boat pond where they can sail their boats. It has a carousel to ride on in the summer and an ice rink to skate on in the winter. Best of all, it has its very own zoo. Every day, families of all kinds go and visit the animals who live there. But children and their parents aren't the only families at the zoo. Oh no, the animals make families of their own. There are red panda bear families with mothers and fathers and furry red panda bear cubs. There are monkey dads and monkey mums raising noisy monkey babies. There are toad families and toucan families and cotton-top tamarin families too. It was quite a mouthful. And in the penguin house, there are penguin families. Every year at the same time, the girl penguins start noticing the boy penguins, and the boy penguins start noticing the girls. When the right girl and the right boy find each other, they become a couple. Ugh. 2 penguins in the penguin house were a little bit different. One was Roy and the other was named CeeLo. Roy and CeeLo were both boys, but they did everything together. They bowed to each other, and they walked together. They sang to each other, and they swam together. Wherever Roy went, CeeLo went too. They didn't spend much time with the girl penguins, and the girl penguins didn't spend much time with them. Instead, Roy and CeeLo would wind their necks around each other. Their keeper, Mr. Gramsay, noticed the two penguins and thought to himself, they must be in love. Roy and CeeLo watched how the other penguins made a home, so they built a nest of stones for themselves. Every night, Roy and CeeLo slept there together, just like the other penguin couples. And every morning, Roy and CeeLo woke up together. But one day, Roy and CeeLo saw the other couples could do something they could not. The mama penguin would lay an egg. She and Papa Penguin would take turns to keep the egg warm until finally it would hatch. And then there would be a baby penguin. Roy and CeeLo had no egg to sit and keep warm. They had no baby chick to feed and cuddle and love. Their nest was nice, but it was a little empty. One day, Roy found something that looked like what the other penguins were hatching. I'll read that again. One day, Roy found something that looked like what the other penguins were hatching, and he brought it to their nest. It was only a rock, but CeeLo carefully sat on it. And sat. And sat. While CeeLo got sleepy, he slept. And when CeeLo was done sleeping and sitting, he swam and Roy sat. Day after day, CeeLo and Roy sat on the rock. But nothing happened. Then Mr. Gramsay got an idea. He found an egg that needed to be cared for, and he brought it to Roy and CeeLo's nest. Roy and CeeLo knew just what to do. They moved the eggs to the centre of their nest. Every day, they turned it so that each side was warm. Some days, Roy sat while CeeLo went for food. Other days, it was CeeLo's turn to take care of the egg. They sat in the morning, and they sat at night, and they sat through lunchtime and swim time and supper. They sat at the beginning of the month, and they sat at the end of the month, and they sat all of the days in between. Until one day, they heard a sound coming from inside the egg. Beep, 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 it said. Roy and CeeLo called back. Squawk, squawk, beep, beep, answered the egg. Suddenly, a tiny hole appeared in the egg shell, and then, crack! Out came their very own baby. She had fuzzy white feathers and a funny black beak. Now, Roy and CeeLo were fathers. We'll call her Tango, Mr. Gramsay decided, because it takes two to make a tango. Roy and CeeLo taught Tango how to sing. Roy and CeeLo taught Tango how to sing for them when she was hungry. They fed her food from their beaks. They snuggled her in their nest at night. Tango was the very first penguin in the zoo to have two daddies. Soon Tango grew strong enough to leave the nest. Roy and CeeLo took her for a swim, just like all of the other penguin families. And all the children who came to the zoo could see Tango and her two fathers playing in the penguin house with the other penguins. Hooray, Roy! Hooray, CeeLo! Welcome, Tango! They cheered. At night, the three penguins returned to their nest. Then they snuggled together, and like all of the other penguins in the penguin house, and all the other animals in the zoo, and all of the other families in the big city around them, they went to sleep. What a lovely story. How fabulous. What a wonderful family they made. Well, I think I might pop to that zoo and see if I can spot them as well and shout hooray. Well, hope you have a happy Pride, and thank you for joining me today for Manchester Pride's Story Time. See you soon. Goodbye. Bye-bye. See you later. That's it. Goodbye. See you later.